Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my Power Pressure Cooker XL. Now I have been canning for 8 years now, and for 5 of those 8 years it's been pressure canning as well as water bath canning. I started out as water bath canning and I've gotten into pressure canning in the last 5 years. So this is going to be my experience using the Power Pressure Cooker XL to pressure can. Okay, so let's get started. So as you can see, this is an electric pressure cooker. I'm plugging it in and it has a keep warm and cancel button. So that's one thing that I had to get used to. There's no on and off switch. It has the canning feature and you can see it's fully adjustable. One thing I did notice that you can adjust it to 35. So if whatever you're canning, you have to pressure can it for 40 minutes instead of the 35. So like celery, which calls for 35, I pressure can it at 40. No big deal. I haven't found any adverse effects because of that difference, that 5 minutes, but I would rather do that than to under pressure can it. So 40 minutes as opposed to 35, and the food is virtually the same to me. Okay, so let's look at the features now. We have delay timer, canning and preserving. We have soups and stews. It has a slow cooker feature. There is rice and risotto, beans and lentils. There is fish, vegetables, steam. There is chicken and meat. There is the time adjustment. And then you have that keep warm and cancel feature. As I remove the top, you can hear that locking mechanism that tells you when your top is locked into place. Okay, so now I'm removing the underlid and rubber gasket. You will see it has a float valve and silicone gasket, as well as a pressure seal and vent. So as I put the underlid back on, it has a right way and a wrong way to place it on. So it will tell you which way to place it on and take all the guesswork out of it. As you can see, mine is well loved. So this is the inner part of the Power Pressure Cooker XL. And that's the canning rack that I just took out. So you will see it's not that big and you can't run it without it. So as you will see, the cord is very sturdy. It's not something that's just going to drop out of the wall or the unit itself. So this is the inside of the actual pot. Heavy duty, works great. This is a steam catch cup. If anything drips or gets caught in that channel outside, it drips into this cup, and it's removable for easy cleaning. So where the plug connects to the back of the unit, it's very sturdy, low down, not easily knocked out, and it's very easy to push in, but it stays in firmly. This unit takes a lot of guesswork out of pressure canning. It tells you when your lid's closed, when it's in the lock position, and when it's open. This unit puts caution front and center, so you know where your pressure valve position should be when you start cooking or when you start pressure canning. And it also gives you a visual for just in case. So this is your steam vent. This is where the unit vents the steam. Here is the pin on the side of the top that helps you know what position your top is in. So here I am trying to put the top on, and as you can see, it's not fitting very well. And that's another check to let you know that something's up. And as you can see, I don't have the inner pot in. So one nice thing about the inner pot, it has measurements on it. So you can measure out your water, anything that you need to put in it. If you're cooking in it, you can measure out different things right in the pot itself. So this unit came with a booklet on home canning made pure and simple. Different recipes for you to try out. It also has an owner's manual that tells you everything you need to know and more about the unit itself. It also came with Power Cooking, the quick and easy way. So I never really looked at this book until today. I'll show you what I use at the end of the video for my recipes for pressure canning. This Power Cooking booklet has several recipes in it, and I've tried quite a few, and they're really good. So the owner's manual told you everything you need to know about the unit. I must have read this front to back 3 or 4 times even before my first attempt at trying anything remotely pressure canned. And it also gives you a reference to the National Center for Home Food Preservation in case you needed more information, more times, or any more methods in pressure canning. So the good, the bad, the ugly of my Power Pressure Cooker XL. So when I first got started pressure canning, I was terrified to pressure can. So that's why I picked this, because it didn't seem as daunting as, say, the All-American or even the Presto Canner. And those were really out of my price range. The Presto was about $150, the All-American $3, $4, $5, depending on which one you got. This one, actually, after everything was said and done, coupons, money back, it was free at Kohl's. So that really played into, if I don't like this or I can't do this, at least I didn't spend that much on it. Price, number one, was definitely a pro. Capacity was something else that I was excited about. It's actually become a con now, but we'll talk about that later. The set it and forget it sort of thing, the fact that it took the guesswork out of pressure canning for me, that was definitely a pro, because I knew virtually nothing about pressure canning. I've seen my mother do it, but my granny do it. It's like, that's it. I had no hands-on experience until I started pressure canning 5-6 years ago. Another pro was that I could cook in it. It had so many other features other than just canning. I could cook, I could stew, it would be a slow cooker even. It was so versatile that I couldn't pass it up. Okay, some of the cons. The capacity. Well, when I first began this, doing 4 pints seemed like a lot to me. Now 4 pints and I'm having to can all day. If I want to do a couple of pounds of beans or like 20, 40, 50 pounds of meat, it becomes a chore. I need something bigger now. So the capacity at the beginning, when I couldn't afford a lot, when I was just starting out and I didn't want to necessarily ruin a whole lot of food, then that was great. But now that I've gotten the hang of it, gotten it under my belt, it's become a con and I need something bigger. So that's going to go, it's in the pro and the con. So at the beginning it was a pro. Now I've got it pretty much down. It's a con. But in the beginning, I guess it was great. So another con is the inner pot. I don't know if you noticed, but the coating on my inner pot is starting to scratch from wear and tear of that canning rack on it. So I no longer cook in this. I only pressure can in this. So that's definitely a con. I have lost my ability. I mean, I still could, but I don't want that coating in my food. So I no longer cook in this. I just pressure can in this. So that's a con. So another con is the front panel. If you notice, the front panel is starting to wear off. Basically the two buttons I use the most, the canning and preserving and the keep warm and cancel, the plastic coating on the buttons is starting to wear off, and I'm afraid that it's gonna actually stop working altogether. So that's a con. So another con, or it could be a pro, depending on how you look at it, it only goes up to 2,000 feet above sea level. So when we go off grid, we're going to be higher than that. So if you're at a higher sea level, then that you can't use this. So it only goes up to a certain height above sea level, and that's 2,000 feet. So in conclusion, everything I have ever pressure canned has been done in my Power Pressure Cooker XL. Everything in my cold room. You can take a look at it. I actually posted a video. I'll put it in the iCard above. Everything in there has been canned in this unit you see in front of you. There have been many that have said different things about electric canners, but have never used them. They say they didn't vent. I show you that they did. They say it didn't vent for 10 minutes. To that, I'm going to say, a car goes from 0 to 60. Does a Tesla get from 0 to 60 in faster time than, say, a Hyundai Sonata? Yes, it does. This might not vent for 10 minutes, but it does vent. An electric canner might push out the steam a lot faster than your traditional canner would. These are also people that rebel can. So, I mean, make up your own mind for yourself. That's what I did. It worked out great for me. It might not for you. It might not be something you want to do. But it's working out great for me in my situation because I'm less than 2,000 feet above sea level. So it works out for me. If you're above 2,000 feet above sea level, this unit won't work for you. So just do your research, make up your own mind. But this has been a great workhorse in my homestead. These are the books I use for pressure canning. Bowl Blue Book Guide to Preserving, Bowl Complete Book of Home Preserving, DIY Canning Small Batch, and the Amish Canning Cookbook. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. Have a great day and happy holidays.